Welcome to another video from Dr. Lock. What you see in front of you is the next generation of night latch. It's called the NightHawk, or Carbine NightHawk for the rest of us who say it properly. Now there's three different models and these are all just hitting the markets now. These are an Australian design, Australian made for the Australian market, and the whole idea of them was basically to combat the old night latch, or basically the Lockwood 201 series, which I have one here as well. And it's probably going to be sitting on the shelf for quite some time. So the old night latch, that's what this market is all about. So there's one there, you might have seen one a million times or not. Okay, so some of the big differences on this particular type of lock that I can see is that the handing of the bolt's a lot easier, the mounting of it's a lot easier, and it comes in various colours and has a better strike on it. With the night latch strike, it's just basically a bit of metal, bit of metal. It's quite thin there, which is quite easy. One screw here, two screws here. So now that we've seen what a Lockwood one kind of looks like, let's go through and have a look at this. Now, I just want to make one more thing, note one more thing very quickly about the mounting of this. Often when I come up against these type of locks, I find that the body and the cylinder aren't exactly lined up. So what I mean by that is the cylinder, where it should be going through and that tailpiece should be connecting it, they should actually be in line. But often what I find is the lock is mounted a little bit higher, a little bit lower, and the tailpiece is on an angle, which puts a lot of pressure on the lock, and the lock never really kind of works properly. This has all been sort of combated by this new lock by using a backing plate. So we're all very familiar with the Lockwood 001 or the 355 or any type of rim mounted lock where you've got a backing plate. You mount your cylinder through and you put your two screws in, and then your cylinder and your backing plate are identically lined up. So there's no chance of getting that little skew effect where the cylinder is higher than the actual drive, because when that happens, it's a fiddly nightmare to realign it, and it's just not fun. So let's get the Lockwood out of the way, and you've seen the Carbine night latch, same thing as the Lockwood, nothing special, real bottom of the barrel type lock. Right, now let's look at these and identify some of the things that make these ones different. To start off with, we've got the black, which is kind of fancy these days. Everyone wants the black. We've got three different models here as well. The difference between these models that I can see here is this one has a square bolt, so it's more like a deadlock. It's a projection type of dead bolt, you could say, and it is dead once it's been projected. Now that's a rim mounted lock, so it's mounted on the back of the door with the 32mm hole that comes through. So in all fairness, that would be a 10-minute lock installation quite easily, because it's easier than doing all the chiseling and mortising and putting the latch in. So I can see this one being a nice little quick fit for most people. Just slap it straight in 10 minutes and you're done. Alright, so what are the differences? This one has the bolt, this one has the latch with the dead latch, and this one just has the latch. The latches are reversible. There's a little hex screw here, and I can quickly show you on how to do that. You can just undo it, back it off, probably about 5 to 7 turns maybe. Pull it forward and just rotate it round. So handing's pretty easy. Not handing, but reversing the latch. So this is if you're using it in a normal configuration, your latch would be looking like that. But if you're doing an open outwards door, then you could spin it around quite easily and do it that way. There is the option as well. These locks come with a metal frame strike, a wood frame strike, and there is the option of a metal frame strike. So I'll show you that as well. Now I know what you're thinking, metal frame strike. Ooh, can I use this instead of a 001? Answer, no. 001 is fire rated. This is not yet fire rated. So there's your mounting plate. You have 4 screws there. Here are your screws. And we have 4 black little self-tapping screws. We have 2 long screws here, which are a bit like a pole with a bit of thread up the top. They go through and hold the striker plate cover to the actual keeper there. So that's the metal frame. Okay, if not, they come with these strikes right here, and I'll go through and show you. So this one here, which is the like the deadbolt model, which I'm pretty sure is part number CNBSL. That one here has this keeper here, and this keeper here has this little notch. So once you actually put them together and then tighten it up, this comes through here to kind of bring them into one piece. You've got your 2 screws that go through there to hold the cover onto the actual base plate. Once again, you have your footprint of four holes there, and you would simply just mark around this and mortise that in. It's probably about 3 to 4 mil, so it's only a very light amount of cutting it in. This one here has a slightly similar, or pretty much identical striker plate. Nothing to report there. Same, once again, you put it up against the door frame, mark around it, carve it in, and away you go. The footprint of the screw holes are identical, and holding this case to this plate is the same identical screws, which are these ones here. Now this one here actually comes with some longer screws for the strike. These two come with long screws for the strike. So that's what you're using to secure this part here to your door frame. Part number on this, CNL Pro /SC. So this is the Pro model. Now this also has some more features here too. Let me finish off on this one real quick. So you have a couple of little notches here for snib or not snib. With this one here, it doesn't have the snib because it's just a bolt. When you turn it, it drives. Nice clicking action. Okay, and it's a deadbolt. Alright, so that one's sorted. 5-pin cylinder, 5-pin inline keys, comes with 2 cylinder screws, and the cylinder screw heads are small and what we're kind of used to using on other type of rim locks. Comes with a one-way screw. To be honest, I don't know why it has that black one-way screw. Maybe it's not for this particular model. Maybe these screws go over here. That's probably better. Yep, that's better. 2 little screws as well. There are 2 little screws right here, which are for here. So you mount your plate, you drill your 32mm hole, you come through, you put in your cylinder screws, which are included with the key. Okay, and in the instructions it says you can actually leave the tail long if you wish. And I've been told on a 32mm door you can actually leave it long on a lot of them. In the instructions it says to cut it about 16mm, which is about a thumb. You can cut it about a thumb if you wanted, but apparently you can actually get away with just leaving this cam all the way long and loose because it just goes straight into the handle. So that might save somebody a little bit of time. After mounting your cylinder through here with your 2 screws, bang bang, you come through and you put in your 4 wooden screws, which are located here. You then put the case on top like so. It's just like a 001. When you tighten it, it sort of moves forward and sinks all the way home. So that's what it looks like at the back. That's what it looks like at the front. Put 2 screws in and you're done. So that one's probably the most sort of straightforward. Now this one here, a little bit more different. It has the dead latching function. It also has this, what I like to call like a little privacy function, so you can push it. From the inside it's always free to exit, which is good. But if you push this and you try and use your cylinder from the outside, you'll find you can't. So it works as kind of like a privacy type of function, I guess. I'm assuming that's why they put it in there. So are they a good lock? Yeah, they seem really good. The finish on them looks good. The extra functions they have is not a bad thing. It's a good thing, really, because the old locks, the old night latch locks, have been out for so long, and it's just miserable. So yeah, the one thing I haven't tested here is what happens if you push this in and try and slam the lock. It pops. Okay, that's good. Okay, so just in conclusion, yeah, this is a great little rim mounted latch, and it's something I think we're going to see a lot more of. The installation and all the work that's gone into the installation and making it easier is really good. There's a lot of things there which I don't see on normal locks about this caliber. Price wise, that's the first thing everyone's going to be asking. Price wise, it's about the same as a deadbolt, a little bit more. So when you compare a deadbolt to this, well, at least now you have the option to actually fit a rim mounted lock without it costing 3 to 4 times what a deadbolt would. So yeah, you can check with your supplier. We'll have them on our lock shop. There'll be a link down below there. If they're not there today, they'll be there tomorrow, because we're still new to this product as well. Now, some of the features, I just want to, 1 or 2 of the little trade features I just want to mention before I go. First one is with the strike. Now with the strike, you see these little lines in the middle. they've got little lines that indicates the center. So when you put your screw in there, if you need to move up or down, because the actual screw holes are like oval shaped, you put your screw in and it'll actually allow you to get a couple of mil up or down. So that's something we haven't seen before, so that's pretty cool, and that's a bit of you know, research and all the rest, and they've worked out that if we do them this way, we get a little bit more room on it. So that's pretty cool. The only locks that I see who have done that are D&D with their gate locks, and a couple of other Weedco locks for the sliding glass doors. Alright, moving back over here. Now, I said 32mm before, but apparently, using a 5-pin cylinder, you can get down to about 28mm. So 28mm door, and this plate here is actually raised to allow that extra couple of millimeters. So you can get actually up to a 28mm door, which is super thin for a door, and this raised plate allows you to get that little bit more, room on the cylinder. Alright, footprint. Now here's something else I just recently found out as well. You've got 5 holes. This hole here, this hole here, and this hole here line up with the night latch. Yeah, if I can show it to you this way. So basically, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So you can use the same footprint. That's pretty cool. And it's got those extra couple of holes there if you wish to use them as well. The little latch feature on the back. Okay, so we push it in, we turn the handle on the outside, pops out, that's normal. Okay, so let's go through and remove this now. So we simply take the screw out. There's a little bit more of a trick to it than I said before, so I'm just going to run through it and just put this bit at the back of the video. So we put it in from NS to NHB, and we tighten it in. Now we push this button in, grab our screwdriver, and we flick it all the way over towards the whole back section. Now that button does nothing, and it's nice and flat there with the case, so you can't do anything with it. So you can completely remove that. Let's get rid of that. Now if I want to reverse that, I take the screw out, get my little screw in here, and just flick it around. Around, put my screw back in, and we're going to re-enable the snib, and it's back. So yeah, I thought you just swap the screw over, but no, you remove the screw, put it in the other side, and then push the button in and flick it around this back whole, this little section right here, and it keeps it in there nice and neat, so it looks good on the lock. And to reverse it, take the screw out, flick this button around, there's like a little lip right here, and put the screw back in, and you're good to go. Alright, so there's the new Carbine NightHawk rim latch, and there's 3 different models. They will be on our website. Leave your comments down below of what you think of the new product. I think it's a fairly decent product comparing it to the other night latches and things, and also the extra features, the extra functions, the time they put into developing it. It looks like a fairly decent product we're going to see out there in the market. If you've got any comments, leave them down below. Price wise, about a deadbolt, so most locksmiths would know what a deadbolt's worth, a decent deadbolt. So it's fairly well priced, I would think. So okay, thanks for watching.